In an interview with The Guardian, you know what I'm saying, we see his name is Radisha Dasla or whatever, Disla, whatever his name is, not pronouncing your last name, seems doubtful of Russia's threats about using nuclear weapons, saying the Americans have told Russia that if you explode a nuke, even if it doesn't kill anybody, we will hit all your targets, positions in Ukraine with conventional weapons. You know what I'm saying? We'll destroy all of them. You see what I'm talking about? What kind of threat is that to Russia to tell them not to do it? Motherfucker, once a nuclear weapon is in the air, it's no turning it back. You know what I'm saying? I did a report on that as well. There is no turning it back. You know what I'm saying? And once it happens, it happens. So now you have sparked the match, and now you're going to kill billions of innocent people who ain't been that fuckery with you. So America needs to stop saying Americans or America. That goes for the Polish leader as well. Because all the American people and all the people in the world who you just don't give a fuck about, we know how you roll. Because we're seeing what the Zionists and them fucking Kazakh gypsies or whatever the fuck they are, you know what I'm saying, more than the rest of them Zionist motherfuckers, we see that you don't give a fuck about people at all because you probably eat babies and blood sucking and murder people for speaking your mind. I think that a credible threat I think that's a credible threat, he said. Also, the Chinese and the Indians have have read Russia the Riot Act. And it's no child playing because if that taboo were also to be, breached like the taboo of not changing borders by force, China knows that Japan and and Korea would go nuclear, and presumably they don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So we have a issue going on that needs to be rectified because the people are really tired of war. And but one of these demon and these blood-sucking motherfuckers, and you call Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all these different motherfuckers that have been in our government, have been doing nothing but lying to the people, robbing the people, and doing all kind of bullshit, and then turn around and send them into war. And then when the soldiers come home, you barely even wanted to take care of the soldiers, but you always celebrating Memorial Day, talking about they fight for your freedom. You know what I'm saying? What freedom did they fight for? When you really got down to it, it was all about somebody's wallet. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what war it was. You know what I'm saying? It's still about someone using brutality in order to gain power so they be rich and everybody else. Even when we look at the military-industrial complex, and many of these people selling weapons and different things across the planet, you know what I'm saying? They're creating weapons of mass destruction. You know what I'm saying? And then talking about peace, love, and they're fighting for our freedom. No, you're not. You're involving us in wars that we should not be in. You're involving people in stuff that they don't know what the fuck going on, basically. They're just as dumb as anyone else when it comes to the historical vow on many issues when it comes politically. You know what I'm saying? But we see the federal appellate court, you know what I'm saying, admonish police department. Okay, so let's see what we talking about here. You know what I'm saying? Admonish police department for arresting black good Samaritan who apprehend drunk driver. You know what I'm saying? So he helping, and the police still, coming out of Houston. Okay. Cedric Big Sid C.D. Thornton, you know what I'm saying, 2 days ago. The Black Enterprise. Big Set on the move. We see judge from the 5th Circuit Court of Appeals chastised the Houston Police Department after officers lied to falsely arrest Augustin Hughes in 2019. The black man who called the police after witnessing an alleged drunk driver leaving and leaving the scene of a crash and holding him for the law enforcement, was then arrested by the police and charged with impersonating law enforcement. The police officers then allowed the drunk driver to leave. Imagine that. Houston? Woo. There's some corruption going on down there. And all people need to rally behind this one and make sure that Houston police understand that you're going to fly right. You know what I'm saying? You're going to fly right. You know what I'm saying? While you're busy running around doing bullshit. So we see here where, you know what I'm saying, and they allowed the man to leave, and he could have killed somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what they would say then if he had a crash and killed grandma on the way home, and it was one of their family members. A three-judge panel chastised Houston Police Department for arresting the man, according to the Houston Chronicles. A federal appellate court in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals rebuked the police department after they wrongfully arrested Augustin Hughes in 2019. The former police officers were working as part-time security guards when he called 911 after seeing a drunk driver crash his vehicle and attempt to get away by running into traffic. He chased the driver and used handcuffs, you know what I'm saying, to restrain him until the police officers arrived on the scene. We see Augustin Hughes in 2019. The former police officer was working as a part-time security guard when he called 911. So he was a former police officer, and he called 911 after seeing a drunk guy, and they arrested this man for what? We don't know. But we see the corruption that is going on in Houston. The racism at its best. You know what I'm saying? So we see here that we need to start to look at these police departments because there needs to be reform, not defund. It needs to be reformed, not defund. Let me give my disclaimer and let me let you know where I stand on it. It doesn't need to be defunded. What it needs to do is be reformed. They need to go to every single officer under a psychological program to see where their mind is and be honest about the psychological program in which you put each officer through until we understand the mind frame of each individual. Because there is no way for people to hire someone and say this and say that and fake their ass, lying ass to a test, but when they get out on the street, they show a whole different bracket of racism and bullshit that should not be allowed in a police department. You know what I'm saying? So, hooray for Mr. Hughes. You know what I'm saying? Hooray for Mr. Hughes. You know what I'm saying? We see California top, we see the former top California Republican has stock message for Creed Joe Biden. As we see a stock message for the Creed, book back big, you know what I'm saying, mind as immigrants, you know what I'm saying, infiltrate upscale beach town. We see Brandon Gillespie 2 days ago coming off the Fox News. We see the former top Republican in California is sending a stark message to Creed Joe Bookback Bitch Biden, pedophilia ass, and his fellow demon blood-sucking vampire-looking clown ass demon Democrats, as because they should be doing better than they're doing. You claim inequality and all types of shit, but you back open border policy, an invasion of the United States and endangerment to the United States in all ways, not just one way, two way, or three way, all ways. But they were doing this for a very long time. This is not something that they just started doing, these being Democrats. They've been doing this for a long time. So this has been a part of their bullshit anyway. You know what I'm saying? But we see here we send small message to the brokeback bitch mom called Creed Joe Biden in his fucking crooked ass family, and his fellow demon nutcast Democrats, as suspected illegal immigrants continue to infiltrate the area surrounding the upscale beach town nearly 100 miles from the southern border. You see Scott Ball, or whatever his name is, you know what I'm saying, a former majority leader in California State Assembly who is running to represent the state 4th Congressional District, told Fox News, you know what I'm saying, digital in an interview that it is because of creepy butt nut in the head Brokeback Rich Biden and his policies that more Americans are now living as if they were on the border's edge. Oh, of course. And many of them are old people, and all kind of people are living in their cars, and they're not seeking any way to help us, but they're helping only these people across the world, because the whole fact of the matter is they want to invade him. He's taking revenge out on the American people for calling his bitch ass a liar years ago when he was doing that crooked shit he was doing all back then. He was a part of the Zionist group that you see help support the destruction of the Palestinian people and many other people in that area for 75 years of straight war, invasion, and chaotic cities. So is the British, the French, the Ottoman Turks, the Germans, and many others. You know what I'm saying? You have an open border, which is, you know, really an essential threat to this country, with 10 million illegal migrants coming across the border since Joe Biden, Brokeback Bitch Biden, pedophilia, like it is, was elected. Board said, we need to stop that, and we need to reverse course and set this country back on the right path. This motherfucker don't give a fuck about no right path. This bitch is nothing but a crooked ass, lying ass piece of shit motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He been doing this shit long before many of these people was even born. You know what I'm saying? Going back to his early years when I was paying attention to his lying ass, because every time he turned around, he was on the TV lying about, you know, his experience and what he did when he was young, and he was a soldier, and he was this and he was that, and he was none of those things. And it proved that, and it was a complete embarrassment to him. So I guess for his revengeful path that he was taking, he decided to go against the United States and do treasonous, you know what I'm saying, communist treasonous, you know what I'm saying, espionage shit against the United States, and went into bed with every crook this side of the world. So he been on the take, and he ain't nothing but a crooked Chinese, whatever, knockoff of many different crooked motherfuckers. The district borough hopes that, you know what I'm saying, Bart hopes to represent the encompassed Northport Beach and upscale town on the Southern California coast, where early this month a group of around 24 suspected illegal immigrants embarked from a boat and escaped into communities, you know what I'm saying, unabated. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can't, you know, they've been doing this for quite a minute, and we need to start to look at it. You know what I'm saying? We need to look at it. We really need to look at it. And we really need to do something about it. We need to do something about that. We need to do something, because this is a chaotic way. They like to put all these problems in front of you and make your whole world shitty, and then have you fighting to clean it up. This is one of the things they do. And then while you're fighting to clean it up, they steady putting more fuel on the fire, and acting as if they don't hear you and they're blind to what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? But we see that this is what they do. You see ranchers and 34 cow stockling killed in lightning strike. Wow, it's been tough down there. I see that. We see now we see an actor this actor, he was the U.S. actor shot dead during an attempted carjacking. I don't believe so. I believe he didn't want to do something they tell him to do after signing the contract. Then I hope that's not what he did, because I've noticed a lot of them die in those type of situations, and it's always the same. We see Joe Biden Memorial Day speech say Americans must, let's see what he's talking about, must continue to uphold democracy. Yeah, and every nation fights for their freedom from y'all evil motherfuckers who they elected with their own hands. As you see, while he's talking, something about demon mockery. Excuse me. Why you talking about something about demon mockery? Upholding democracy. This is coming up by Alexandra, you know what I'm saying? And it looks like Fizz Barwell 12 hours ago, Eastern Standard Time, coming on the ABC News. We see where the creep himself, you know what I'm saying, giving a speech on the more, he have a nerve to be giving any kind of speech, and anybody listening to this motherfucker, or any president that's a demon Democrat that we know have done bullshit in this country, in a positive affiliation with it, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one, have the nerve to be talking. Even Rockefeller, Rothschild, Obama, all of them don't have no right to be on no Memorial Day, nothing. Because many of those leaders, even going back to Richard Nixon, LBJ, and a whole bunch of them, you supported in all ways war, and rumors of war. You know what I'm saying? You are warmongering set of motherfucking idiots. You know what I'm saying? And the world is waking up, and should be waking up by now, to that con game. You know what I'm saying? But on this day, you see here with the creep himself in, you know what I'm saying, you know, Crooked Joe, you know what I'm saying, in his Memorial Day message to the, well, message, a message, wait a minute, his message to the nation, when you just send them over there to protect a group of people that is no more than a Zionist invasion into Africa, and what you call now Palestine. Oh, and all y'all been doing this shit to black people for hundreds of fucking years, the original people of the planet, and you got nerve to talk about anything to do with memorial? Oh, wait a minute, we need to really rethink what you see in here. And many white people need to too. Because many of y'all lost your sons, your daughters, and family members behind these set of demons and the policies and the government in which you supported to say that they're a government of the people. You know what I'm saying? What people were they talking about when they drafted your people into a Vietnam War that was not about your freedom? They didn't go over there to save no freedom in the Vietnam War. I don't know why people keep saying that the soldiers went over there to fight for our freedom in the Vietnam War. They did not. And I told people that before. I don't need to hear it from anyone else. But it's nice to hear the younger people beginning to wake up their minds to that situation. They did not go over there to fight for your freedom. They went over there to back up a tyrant leader that was doing garbage to his own people and his own brother. You know what I'm saying? And his own kind. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess whatever vested interest they had in that, and the French was already crooked as a motherfucker to begin with, you know what I'm saying, went over there first and got involved in backing up the tyrant leader in the South. They were not fighting America, they were fighting for independence. They wasn't coming over here to the United States to do anything to anybody. So what the fuck was the French doing over there, bombing and killing the people, and why did America get involved? It's a question that we must ask. Because they were not fighting for your freedom. You know what I'm saying? And they were not communists either. They used that in order to go over there and attack them, because they were using communists as a token to say that that the communist people, or whoever would fall under communists, was out to destroy America or attack America. So anywhere that communist was, in democracy, clown ass motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, gotta go over there and stomp them out. You know what I'm saying? But one big mistake you made is that we know full well that the Vietnamese people was not coming over here. They was not fighting to destroy America, and they didn't want no part of nothing to do with nothing like that. They were fighting for simple independence from the bullshit that was going on between the South and the North. You know what I'm saying? So don't give me not bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You lying motherfucker. And then talking about some memorial. Then they got a nerve to be up there talking. I don't respect that. I was actually probably born on Memorial Day. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't respect it because you sent a lot of soldiers to their death on the premise of somebody's fucking wallet or some old bullshit shit that you want to see just people bodies bust apart and dying and whatever interest that you may have had. You know what I'm saying? Which is satanic to me in all ways. But let's move on. In the Memorial Day message of this creepy ass motherfucker, it's creepy to even say that, saying to the nation and said, America, here we go. Americans have the responsibility to uphold demon democratic ideals. What? Peace goes out to all the valiant men and women of the United States militaries and those who fight in the German wars and many different wars across this planet and were valiant enough to even go there and do that. You know what I'm saying? It's very sad to see that your valiancy and your greatness and your patrioticness was wasted in more ways than one. Because they were not coming over here to do anything to us, and they were not sending you to fight for anybody's freedom. You know what I'm saying? They caused majority of these wars. They chumped up many of these. They pulled trickery of many of these wars. They even used embargoes in order to literally starve nations to where the nation had no choice but to attack in order to loosen the thing. And then when they did that, you dropped two atomic bombs while you were busy over there in your laboratory in the desert building these bombs and shit. You dropped two of them. Soon as you rushed them, that's how come a lot of the soldiers died, because one group of people is going to have a secret facility where they're creating atomic bombs, and the soldiers are literally dying from radiation exposure. You know what I'm saying? And then the first thing you do is drop two of them on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know what I'm saying? After you was the one who trumped up the war, because I guess by you creating these atomic bombs, you wanted to test them. So you had to create a war in order to do so. Is what I believe in more ways than one. But I'm just going to keep it a belief because that doesn't make it that way. You know what I'm saying? But he's saying that we have to uphold democratic, demon democratic ideas, which so many service members and their families have sacrificed. No, they didn't sacrifice. They thought they were doing that, but they actually has put their life on the line for a bunch of crooked motherfucking bullshit that was not even worth the sacrifice. In a speech at a Ampler, I guess it's called Amplifier Theater at Arlington National Stadium. He shouldn't have even been there. You know what I'm saying? On a cloudy morning in Washington, you know what I'm saying? I believe one of my uncles are buried there as well. Last name might be Berkeley. You know what I'm saying? But we see where, the cloudy morning in Washington, Creek Joe broke back his body to honor those who served in every major conflict since the Civil War that you created. Those wars didn't just happen. They were created by the Luciferian and the bloodthirsty motherfucking trickery deep state motherfuckers in our country. Now you could ram them all together. I don't care if it's Rothschild, this, that, and secret society. It's the deep, dark state. You know what I'm saying? In a speech, You know what I'm saying? He's trying to say, that he honoring that. He ain't honoring shit. He a part of the bullshit of these people losing their life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We see the AOC calls the Israelis invading crooked ass motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, attack on Rafah camp indefensively, you know, actual city. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, this come out Nick Roberts 7 hours ago Eastern Standard Time. Coming off the hill. But we see Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, cooking fucking better paid, twisted ass, blasted the Israeli strike on Rafah that killed at least 45 over the weekend. Yeah, she jumped in on something to try to get a validation, ain't she? To get her little fame back. But she's already and should be voted out. I would not vote her back in. Get rid of her. You know, say her and many other senators and even mayors and whoever else, assemblymen, whatever, they're not doing the right thing. Vote them the fuck out. And choose to examine the history of those who you put in, that you know that you're putting in a good choice when you do. It's important that you understand that. But she blasted them for strike on Rafah that killed 45 people over the weekend, you know what I'm saying, as an indefensibly, you know what I'm saying, atrocity, as an indefensible atrocity, as criticism, raised, I thought it was city, rise of the Israeli military operations in the Gaza, southern Gaza. Nobody wants to hear that bullshit. What needs to become is a thing. She's just trying to get her little fucking fame back because she knows she on the fucking way out. You know what I'm saying? She on the way out. She's full of shit in all ways. You know what I'm saying? She's full of shit in all ways. And nobody paying her any attention in her bullshit, as we see. You know what I'm saying? As we see. As we see. So we're not going to sit here pussyfooting around with her. Because it's all about, to me, the same thing that she's just trying to get her little fame back because she knows full well what has taken place in more ways than one. You know what I mean? In more ways than one. She's just trying to get her fame back. But we need to get rid of her. There is no reason that she should still be in government after all this time. You know what I'm saying? And many of these situations that we've seen coming up in what we see today as any type of situation should be cleared out because we have to focus on cleaning up their mess. And this is the mess that they do. When you vote these type of people in office,